baby's home. Cairo, Cairo is my baby's home. One bad Cairo night won't be long. Women in Cairo, they will treat you kind and sweet. Women in Cairo, they will treat you kind and sweet. Catch you around and take you off your feet. Shoot you and knock you, teach you and cut you too. Shoot you and knock you, teach you and cut you too. They get through the graveyard, then for you. Cairo, Cairo, babe. Cairo.
All right. I love technical stuff, but today it was really devastating to just realize that, well, one of the cameras just wouldn't work. Now we're back. So everything works. Great to see you guys. Welcome. And this will be great. The theme for today is good. I got a nice welcome song. I just didn't change my guitar because before I start, I'll need to just make sure that I have the right angle for all the guitars, which I don't because nothing was working. So now we're good there. And let's see. So this guitar is fine and this guitar is not so fine. There somewhere. Just a second. So how you guys doing? Let me know in the chat. My weekend was great. I had some family time with Fresh E, who is here with us today. So let's see now. Whoa, I feel like I'm back on track. Good. So, the welcome song. The welcome song has got a lot to do with the theme for today, how to prepare and how to take notes about songs, licks that we're working on. So this song that I'm going to play now, The Key to the Highway, basically based on a little bit of how Dr. John, the famous piano player, would play it. And I put some slide in it. And I played an open G that I usually don't do. I just play this song in a regular standard tuning E because that suits my voice even more. But I thought, okay, let's do a stretch. Let's challenge ourselves and let's do it this way. All right. So welcome all. Let's take the key and do the highway. I got a key to to the highway. Built out and about to go. I'm gonna leave this place running. Car walking most so slow. I'm going back to the border. Honey, where I better know, because you haven't done nothing to keep your good man at home. And give me one more Chris Mamo, just before I go. 'Cause when I leave this town, I won't be back no more. To the highway, I'm built out and about to go. I'm gonna leave the place running, car walking most too slow. Something like that. Key to the Highway. This is my one of my next challenges, to make a version of this song to be not that rocky as it is in many of the versions that the bands and even solo blues musicians are playing. I like to make it a little bit more harmonic, and because it's a song about well, maybe it doesn't have too much to do with the theme of the song, but it's just, that's the way I hear it in my ears. And after so many years of playing the standard versions, I kind of like to do this. Right. And now let's rush right into the blues backups. So we're going to be in standard tuning E. Let's warm up with all right, let's say hi to some people. Family first. Hello. Norwegian Attack, as usual. Thank you so much for coming here. And Patrick was first to comment. I think you were first, and you were maybe angry with me that I'm late. Sorry about that. Making popcorn, okay. Jonas, great to see you back. Welcome. Yeah, Key to the Highway is one of my favorite songs. It's just great. Let's move on. Let's do the guitar backups. Well, maybe before I start, this is how I used to play Key to the Highway. I got the key to the highway, built out, about to go. So this is very much based on Brown and McGee's playing, and no matter how I try to do something of my own in E, it's so much of his influence in my playing. So I thought, no, I want to do it my way. So that's why I turned it into a G open, a bit higher pitch. So I'm going to be yeah, I think I'll have to be working on the vocal lines just to make them more pleasing to your ears on the next festival near you. All right, the blues backup. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I had, I think, one single kind of turnaround lick that I haven't played before, which was this one. So instead of doing the, which is kind of chromatic, just going down from this note, which is a seventh of the E chord. So that's what's happening there. But if I change that to this, so what's happening is that I'm playing this E7 here, but then I'm playing actually the E chord, A chord, with a third on the 4th fret here. So it's 5th, 3rd string, and open. And then in conjunction of the 3rd fret on the 5th string, I play open G string. And when I play that together with the 1st string, it's got this nice kind of, it's not dissonant, it's just like, it's cool. And then I end on the E chord. So, and then I just go to C7 and B7. So basically that's what I did there. And then I had this. So this is not just the, this is the chord, this is the E chord on the 7th fret here, a 9th fret of the chord shape, and then the 7th fret of the bass. And then you have this playing just these two strings, and I'm kind of slowly and very moderately bending the 2nd string, so it's not, it's a bit bent here. And then, so here I'm playing the E7th, but it's from this shape of E, right? So this is the E chord, and then the 7th here. So and then I changed into A, which is the A9 chord because of this note on the 7th fret on the 1st string. It's a note B, which is a 9th in A chord. Oh God, I don't know too much about theory, but somehow I'll learn this. Okay, so that's it. Those were the licks. Now, I think we're gonna go right to the theme of today because I got some things that I'd like to see here. And there's a, give me a second. So, I'm gonna leave the guitar for a moment, for a brief moment. So guys, we started last week with a talk about, okay, how do we practice when you finally find the time? We kind of, I gave you the calculation, like a week has like 168 hours. And if you take away the hours, you're working like 8 hours a day, some hours for commuting, whatever is left is like, divide that with 8 hours, which is like 8 hours of sleep a day, which not all of us accomplish to do. And then whatever's left, divide half of that, give it to the family. You're left with like 4 or 5 hours every day that you really have at your disposal. Give half of that to hobbies or whatever you want, and that's maybe 2 hours, maybe even only 1 hour, and let's settle on 30 minutes, which can be negotiated down to 20 if you really are a good negotiator. But out of those couple of minutes that you have every day and that you dedicate to guitar playing, I always recommend it to find a certain time of the day, evening, morning, in the middle of the day, whenever you can, and just devote that time always to guitar playing or whichever instrument you're playing. So out of those 20 minutes or 30 minutes, the last stream was about how to divide that time. But in order to know what we're going to be working on, which song, which lick we want to do, how far have we come with those? That's where we need any kind of note taking. So I have a couple of ideas here. And since many of people who know me think that I'm a computer nerd and I'm doing everything in Notion and everything is so neatly planned and all that, not always, but yeah, okay. But I do start with this. A plain piece of paper where I write down stuff before they would come into some other note-taking thing that I might be using. Let's say this is my like a first stage when I just come up with an idea, or somebody calls me, or something just happens, like, oh, that's right, I need to remember that. I always have a piece of paper in my pocket, and a pen is always somewhere around in the apartment, so I can just write down, jot it down, and then I process that. What I do with that is that I process that into one of these. This is the Elfin notebook. Oh, I covered the name of it, sorry. So Elfin notebook, Elfin book. And the difference between this and average paper notebooks is that these blades here, the paper blades, are not actually paper. They are maybe in the beginning, but they are coated with a special kind of film or whatever it is that you can write with these special pilot friction pens. And that can be just erased with a moisture cloth or something, and you can write all over again on that. A big quick piece of advice: if you ever buy one of these books, because there are many of those, this like Elfin book that I've had, I think I've had this like 5 or 6 years, and it's still working perfectly. There's a Rocket book that you can also buy, and the great thing is that I found out, this is my second one. So the first one I kind of destroyed because I wrote so much on the first couple of pages, and then I erased that and I wrote again. So in the end, this little film on the surface just worn out and I couldn't do it anymore. So, easily I just kind of used the whole notebook. And then when I got me the next one, I have this routine that I write on maybe almost all the way through, and then I erased from the beginning, and that way you're really worn out just one page at a time. And I think I'm gonna be having this for at least 10 more years, I guess. But anyway, so these are some notations here. When I'm done with those, and when I move them into another system, I kind of just put a cross on top of it, and then I know I don't even need to think about this anymore. And let's say, to be honest, these are the notes that I took when I had the meeting yesterday, and I'm going to put this into system very soon, but they're still here and they're safe, so I never lose an idea, and that's the main thing. It doesn't matter what you're using. Sometimes it's enough to take out a phone and just start the voice recording app, the memo, and just record it and then listen to it. The main problem that most of the people have is that they don't go back to these notes. They let them pile up. I agree, and I admit that sometimes I do that as well, but I'm trying my best to kind of go back to it and really process everything. So when I'm done with this, some of the notes I'm going to be showing you now is something that I used in the Apple Notes application, which is on every Mac. On a PC, there's definitely another note-taking app that you can use. It doesn't matter which system you're using. So this is something that I've done today, and I've done some backups on my computer, and the rest of it, which is underneath this little line, is what I'm about to do. And these things, there are so few of them, then I really don't need to put this into Notion or into any to-do app that I might be using. I leave those things in projects. So I don't do my to-do lists that are like several pages long and all that. This is just kind of jotted down that I'm using here. So the next thing I'm going to be showing you is the system that I'll be using in the app called Notion, and I've shown you this before. Some of the stuff I've shown you, but now there's this, let me see. So we are in Notion now. The page you're seeing now is one of the pages in this sidebar. So the Notion app is consisting of the favorites, of the workspaces, and of the private area. So the private area is something that only I see. Even if I collaborate with somebody in Notion, it's still only me who can see the private area. This workspace consists of one big and large page that is actually my complete setup in Notion. These are all pages, databases, everything of this that you see here is connected. So now the problem with this is that this is kind of truncated. It's not visible because I needed to keep the application window a bit narrow so that I could put it in the live stream. But basically these are also pages here, and this is, let's say, inventory of my music stuff that I have, hardware, where I have it in my room. If I tuck away something, usually within a couple of days I forgot where it is, so I just write everything down here. So the reason I'm not working from here is that there is this fantastic opportunity in Notion that I put some things that I want to put up here in the favorites. So one of the favorites here is one of these pages that I showed you before, which is Acoustic Blues Weekend. That's what we started with. So this is one page shown here in the favorites, but it's within my projects database, which I'll show you a little bit later. So every note that I have, every idea on a song, I put that as a separate page in the big database called Ideas for Songs. And I'll show you that in a minute. Let me see about the time. Great. We're almost on schedule, even if we started a little bit later. Hello, Brian. Nice to see you. Desse lugar. Yep. Good. So I'm in this database. These that you see here, these properties are actually just like from the regular Microsoft Excel file. These are the columns, but here they are in vertical order. So down here, I have, let's say, about this workshop in the UK that I'm going to be doing in November. I have the traveling details, annotated information about the flight. Everything I need is in Notion. Introduction video that I made for the students over there, it's linked here from the YouTube. So if I want to go back to that, just to see what I've promised them to do. And that's it. So basically, and here I can make the links to my main databases that were in this Mac headquarters. So these are the tasks and actions, these are my projects, and these are the areas of my life and work. I can just briefly show you how this looks, right? So some things are private, some things are about my teaching, some things are about my company, finances, and all that. But the main thing about this sidebar is that you can change everything that you have here. As soon as I'm done with this live stream from today, which looks like this in this system, and these are, let's say, to-dos prior to the live stream, and these are, let's say, the things that I'm going to be talking about now. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to change this, and I'll go back to the live streaming ideas, and you will see that today's live stream is number 33, and that's right. So I'm just going to make this. Okay, let's change it now. It's not planned anymore. It's going to be done soon, in half an hour. But basically, this is where I start the day. This shows, let's say, a view of my project in the timeline view, which shows what's actually on my plate now. This is editing of a video. This is that's right, for the new website for the guitar retreat that I'm planning on, because we're going to have another guitar retreat next summer, of course. And some other stuff, merchandise that I'm working on. This little slide icon, Philip, that you see in all my live streams, that's going to be printed on t-shirts and hoodies and maybe caps. We'll see what we're going to do about that. But basically, this is the view that I watch, because this shows me my actual projects. This shows the tasks that are filtered to show these rules that when the done of the task is not checked, is not checked, and then the due date is on or before 1 week from now. So whatever I forgot, maybe this is overdue, you see, I'll need to go there and see, okay, what did I forget about this? Let's check it. Songs that I'm working on now are here. And the ideas that I'm working on now are here. So this is just a view of the filtered part of this quite large database where I have everything annotated. So as soon as I get an idea about a song, and if I go here, bank a long term, Key to the Highway, here we are. So the Today's Welcome song, Key to the Highway, has its own page. So when I click on that, you will see that down here, okay, I've tried this before, but maybe OpenG could be something to do. And it shows me exactly when I edited this note the last time, which acts I can play this with, and many other parameters. It doesn't matter really, but the main thing why this is showing up here is because I chose the tag that I'm doing this right now. That way, I don't need to think too much about, okay, what am I working on? Let me just go back. That's right. So these are the ideas that I've come up with, and then I decide when I'm going to be working on them. Sometimes I can just put them in works, which is like, okay, this is in works. I still haven't decided that I'm going to be working on it, but it's like something that I'm thinking about. But I don't have to see the big, large database of ideas, which actually lives in this menu here. That's where we are. So the live streaming ideas are here, and the main view of all ideas is in this just regular list view, as you would expect, let's say, from Microsoft Excel or any other spreadsheet. It's just that the beauty of Notion is that each of these columns is something that you can really tailor to decide what it's going to be. So in this case, this is just listing everything. And then I think I'm sorting it after the last edit date. That's right. Whatever I edited, let's say today, I decided that this song is going to be in works and it's not going to be just an idea anymore. But then I also have these filtered views that are the same as in the previous one I've showed you. And these are the ideas sorted by status. So these are just now, these are in works. This is just the ideas. You have 49 and some inspirational songs or licks that I've been listening to. And usually, because I have some kind of combination of letters, which some call ADD, somebody calls it ADHD, somebody calls it ACDC, I don't know. But I'm like, even if I have that ADHD of some kind, I do have my moments where I just like let everything go and just go and do whatever I feel like doing. But as soon as I'm either booked for a gig or something, then I just go into all of my ideas, a list of songs, which is also living here. This is a big song library with many songs. But I also have several songs that I'm working on right now. And these are filtered here. And there are not so many because I know that I'm not capable of working on 10 songs at the same time. It's easier to work on licks. I can have 25, 30 licks that I work on. So if I play 30 minutes every day and do, let's say, 2 licks per day, that's twice 15 minutes. I can do a lot with a lick within like 15 minutes. I can decide on, oh, this is the way I could do it. Oh, let's try this or let's try that. Because let's say if I go into Endless Road, which is a song that I played many years ago. This is me with my harmonica player in 1990. And that's the video that I have here just to be reminded. This is a recording that we did, and these are the lyrics. So, and some annotations about what I'd like to do with this song. So that's very concrete when it comes to songs. The ideas can be a little bit more kind of I don't write too much in the ideas, but let's say Singing Moon, a fantastic instrumental by John Miller, is something that I really would love to do, but it's a tricky song. It's a heavy arrangement. It's an open G on the baritone guitar, and I have the original recording here by John Miller. It needs loads of practicing. Yes, it does. And this is what I record myself just to remember. Okay, I found this lick here, this lick over there. So let's work with this arrangement. And then let's see. This is also something that kind of struck me. I don't know, a couple of days ago, and this is also inspired by these artists, and I've recorded some audio here to work on. So that's how I take notes about things and kind of keep track on stuff without being overwhelmed, because I'm not basically watching anything else but this. If I really don't have anything else here, if I'm done with all these licks and I just mark them as done, or that I just don't have them here anymore, then I would go into the big list and then just go through everything. There are quite many ideas here, and this is something that I can also reach from my mobile phone. Go right, I can't show that right now, but I have a shortcut on the home screen where I can just click once and go into that and do the ideas. But basically anything that I do in Notion is like 2, maybe 3 mouse clicks away, not more than that. I have this, let's say if I open Notion here, that I usually do, and it's usually open on projects because I always like to see the big picture. And then I go, okay, I'm gonna work with Acoustic Blues Weekend. It's 1 click here. As soon as I'm opened it, I just scroll down and I can start writing here, or recording something, or whatever I want to do. I want to work with my, let's say, ideas for the YouTube channel or for the live streams. It's here. I also have one live streaming ideas shortcut, which is here, where I can just go back and forth within all the live streams that I've already done. So I can see, okay, what did I do here? Which song did I play? And so on. And then also my guitar retreat videos for students are also just 1 click away, because sometimes I want to go back there, plan for the next retreat and all of that. So this can be favorites, there are shortcuts to those pages. And the beauty of Notion is that these, let's say this one here is the wish list for the hardware or software that I'd like to buy, which is also a kind of note taking. I took a note about stuff that I'd like to buy, but this lives in the main headquarters. So this is just kind of, here it is, swipe, right? And the ideas for songs, the big song library, they're just 1 shortcut away here. But some of the pages are hidden within this whole structure, and that can be intimidating for somebody who's just starting off with Notion. But I can just recommend a course by Marie Poulin called Notion Mastery. That is pricey, of course. Great things cost money, but it's one of the absolutely best courses that I've ever taken, because it really brings you in a nice and smooth way that you can see from the ground and up how you can develop your own system in Notion. Because if you say, what's Notion? Well, Notion is 1 page where you put everything that you want to be working with, and then it's just a matter of how you organize things. All right, so inventory of the music stuff. So let's say this is the view of everything listed. So this is in this room that you see around me here. This is where all this lives, and you see here what kind of item this is: accessory for photo, video, if effects pedal, or something like that. But this is just everything listed, like 76 items here. So let's say now I've come to the end and everything is visible here. But what I need to know is where it is. So on my desk, I see these things. And in the flat box by IKEA, underneath the table, are these things. And the Notion is fantastic and about classifying things. All I needed to do is to create these tags for places where I have the stuff and then just connect them. And if I open, let's say, plastic step-up ring for monitor arms, that's right. I can see here I have only a couple of these properties. It says, let's say, the value. This is very cheap. I didn't even pay for it. I think I just got it in a package with the monitor arm. And I just put it here. And then I can just decide where it's living. That's it. The one great thing about this is, let me just close this. Right? So what I did here also is that I annotated exactly how much it costs. So I have a kind of summary of all the costs that I have for stuff that I'm using the most often. It's on this table, computer, monitors, and everything. So I know how much money I've spent. And sometimes it can be a warning signal. Sometimes it can be something that's inspiring because, okay, I'm investing in this, so I really need to work on it. And there is no time to lose. So what else? Studies. This is also one of the databases that I'm using for the things that I'm working on, that I want to learn. And if I just put it into this one big list, it's like, what, you can't be studying all this 150 items and all that. Well, yeah, not at the same time, of course, but they're good to be listed here because that's what I really want to know more about when I have the time. And there's this status of this that's right now I have these things that I'm working on, and this is manageable because I know that I'm editing my photos in this app. This is editing the videos. This is Ecamm that I'm using now to do this live stream to you guys. So YouTube, learning about YouTube. If I open this, then you can see that in the page content down here, I have loads of YouTube videos about YouTube that are listed. And all I needed to do is to take this URL from the YouTube and just paste it in here. And I can even choose to have it as a embedded video within this so that I don't have to leave it. If I want, I can just open this YouTube page as the whole screen on my computer, and then I can just go into this, growing your YouTube channel. All these resources are about that. Troubleshooting problems with YouTube, monetizing, and all kinds of stuff. As you see, I'm quite ambitious about this, right? Maybe that's not too smart, but I don't know. We'll see. What else is there? Yeah, well, basically that's it. I'm testing some templates for Notion, so everything is here. There is another kind of cockpit, the main page. Maybe if I see all the projects here, that's okay. But sometimes when you, I made this kind of nice dashboard with some nice thoughts that I want to read to get inspired, to, you know, get into the good mood and in the groove of doing things. So all this I take as notes that are important for me for the work and life and everything. And also a beauty of Notion is that all those same tasks that you've seen in the first dashboard are also linked here. Actual projects are also here. It's filtered to only show the 4 of these actual projects that are now on the table, on the plate. The studies, it's also filtered just to show those that I'm working on just now. And the people is from my people database, where I, let's say, decided that these are the guys that I'd like to contact very soon. And if I go back here and show you people to contact, these are the same 3 posts that I have in another dashboard. So everything can be interlinked in Notion in a very intuitive way. It can be complicated as much as you make it, but it can also be very simple. All right. No more computer science. Oh, speaking of a devil. Okay, David. Replay squad. That's right. Yeah, good. Late to the party. All right. I've mentioned David several times before in my live streams. An amazing piano player, wonderful human being, and I'm learning a lot from his live streams every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So now he's on the road and he couldn't do the live stream today, but he'll be back maybe on Wednesday, maybe on Friday. Just look him up, David Hunt, on YouTube. Good. We have enough time to do the lick of the week for today, which is in open D. Sounds nice. If you could only see the guitar. But yes, you can. Second. Just need to adjust this a little bit. And since we had some technical issues in the beginning where the right camera wouldn't show up, now we're back. Cool. And this is exactly what we did last week. And maybe I can show you this again in Notion. If I go to live streaming ideas, let's say if I go into this one, you will see that in this lick of the week section, I have recorded prior to the last week's live stream. I recorded this. I'm not sure.
The melody will be.
Yeah, you can hear it.
In different variables.
Right. So that's how I do. That's how I annotate ideas. And when I go to the previous weeks, I will just make a copy to this one, because this is actually the original from the last week. If I go back to this live streaming ideas, and if I go to the October 3rd and open that one, you will see the same video here, but this is the original video. So I can sync and paste in link to this video to any of the other pages in Notion, so that will always be the same. So if I change something here, and if I, let's say, use this text and make that also a synced block in Notion, I can have it on 10, 20, 100 places in Notion, and if I change anything in the original, it will change the copies, as well as if I change anything in the copy, it's going to change in the original. So that's fantastic for, let's say, when you're studying something, if you're taking notes during lectures, and a lot of students are using Notion. Good. Back to business, to da business. So the lick here, I promised you last week that I'm going to be doing this slowly, and we'll start from the melody and I'll introduce the chords. That's going to be enough for today's live stream. And then you can go back to this section of the live stream later on, and I'll be having these timestamps as usual, so you can always go there and see and practice together with me. So the melody is going to be this. Oh, sorry. This is the simplest way to play this. So we start on the 4th fret of the 1st string and glide to the 2nd fret and play the open string then. So it's 2 pickings with my index here. And then the note on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string with a slide with a little bit of a vibrato. And then what I'm doing here is that I'm dampening the 1st string with my middle finger. So I pick the 2nd string, but I'm dampening the 1st string. And then I glide to the on the 2nd string to the 4th fret. And then I play the 5th fret of that string. And this note is actually the same as on the open string, but if you play a string open, then you cannot vibrate it. So it's much more alive to this tone, to this note, if you do this. And I've already made a variation of this melody. I didn't play each note. I glided from the 4th fret to the 5th. Then I picked it again. So all these variations are something that you can practice on your own and just go wild. You can just maybe pick once on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string and then play all the coming notes like this. What I did here is that I made this and don't forget about the vibrato. The vibrato is not coming from the finger itself. It's not this. It's coming from the whole elbow. So my thumb is behind the fret. Behind the fretboard here, and it's kind of anchoring whatever my elbow is doing. So it's sideways movements. This is very important for the nice vibrato. You can make it your own by the way you vibrate, but if you do it this way, you have a very good ground to start from and then develop your own. I've seen many people stop vibrating because they're too tensed in their shoulders. It's like leave the biceps just to carry the weight of your forearm. Don't let it be stiff. Don't contract the biceps. It should be very kind of relaxed up here. But then and the slower you do the vibrato, the smaller movements you should do. Because if you do like this, kind of half an inch to each of the sides, it's not good. So the slow vibrato goes with the smaller movements. Larger vibrato with the like. I'm still keeping the intonation, but I'm kind of more energetic, and then I can move more with my slide like this. Compared to and that way that note will carry until the acoustics of the guitar, the material of slide will give you, and that's a key to a nice and solid vibrato. So back to the melody. Look at this now. I'll play the same melody, but I've changed by moving to the 5th fret and play the 3rd string on the 5th fret, which is the same note as the 2nd string on the 2nd fret. What this gives us is the opportunity to play the chord, which is on G chord in open D. So this is G. And by choosing which string we're going to pick with our picking hand, it's about the complexity of the whole thing. So if I do like this, so I chose to play, so I play the 4th string on the 5th fret, and then the note D, which is same as here. So if I choose to play 3 strings here in the chord, then it's going to be like this. And if you have the control of how hard you're picking these strings or how softly you're touching them, then you can emphasize maybe one of 2 strings. Let's say if I play this, play the third string a bit more deliberately, like with a bit more punch to it. And then I kind of accompany the note with a softly picked second string. Let's do it all together. First, just a melody on the first two strings, and then I'll incorporate the chords. So this could be your kind of looping practice idea, like this. Now with the chord. Then we just add this big bass. You can also add the fourth string open when you start playing the lick. It's a nice drone just to ring there. But if you use the big bass, like a, then you do the chord. So you play this bass twice. And for me, this would be less dynamic, less beautiful. So I would use the open fourth string in the first part, just when I play single notes. And then and this big bass is kind of inviting into maybe more complex playing, into more variations with a melody or whatever. But let's do it as an exercise. So I'll play it now even slowlier, and then I'll play it twice in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you've heard some kind of buzzing, some things were not perfect, and of course they're not. This is quite new for me because I just came up with this exercise for you guys. So let's do it this way. Let's make a deal. I practice on this until the next week, and I promise I'll play it flawlessly on the 17th of October, and you guys practice on your end, and I'm not going to be able to listen to you, but yeah, I'll trust your word for it. Good. So, do you have any questions about this thing? This is going to be very easy to go back to. And when I do my timestamps, I'll do that right away now after the live stream, and you can get back to this one and listen. Good. So David left, the rest of you are here. Nice to have you here, guys. Let's see if I can find the way how we usually end up doing when I'm done with the live stream. So I guess this is one of the very few times that I really didn't. 1 hour, 3 minutes. Yeah, it was okay. So thanks so much for coming, and I'll see you guys on October 17th, the next Blue Monday. All right, see you guys.
It was in spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, lost, she went away. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Things could call me up, down and out. out by soul. Said, come back, Daddy. Lord, I need you so. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. Don't like my peaches, don't you shake my tree. Get out of my orchard, let my peaches be. Now she's gone, I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. In spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, now she went away. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top